We are going to be doing a 45-minute backbending practice today. Absolutely nothing you need for today's class. Simply your mat and, of course, always your breath. When you are ready, meet me at the top of your mat, standing position, samasthiti. Bring the toes into touch. Find a nice, long, straight spine, really standing nice and tall. Bring the palms of the hands to face forwards. When you're ready, you can start to close down your eyes. Allowing yourself a moment to truly arrive into this space. Slightly feeling the sway of your body from side to side. And start to deepen your breath, maybe even starting to connect to your ujjayi. Always knowing that it is the breath that carries us through this practice, and in a way it is also our single focus, our drishti, our path. It is what leads us from pose to pose, but it also leads us to this place of dharana, of concentration, and eventually dhyana, the meditation and the practice. Take one more deep breath in, exhaling it out with sound. I'm going to start with our sun salutations. Inhale to bring the hands up towards the sky. Gaze comes up. Exhale to fold forwards over the legs. Uttanasana. You can keep the knees bent. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, plant the hands. Step or float it back if you are ready. Lower down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. This might be the first time you find yourself in this pose today. Totally fine if you'd like to pedal out the legs or wiggle out through the hips. Just find nice kind of gentle movement into your body. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, holding here. On the next inhale, come forwards, find a high plank. On the exhale, lower yourself all the way down towards the floor. On the inhale, lift through the chest and lift the hands off the floor. So you're pulling the elbows back behind you. Maybe from there you start picking up the toes. 3 deep breaths in this position for 1. Exhale. Deep breath in 2. Really engage your whole back body. Exhaling. 1 more deep breath in 3. And exhale, lower down. Come back through a high plank, inhale. Lower down, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Bend through the knees, step or float. Come top of the mat, lengthening. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, gaze comes up. Exhale, forward folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, maybe step or float it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's take a twist. Bring the right hand onto the outsides of the left ankle. Gaze comes up and over or under that left armpit, Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, switching sides. Take the left hand to the right ankle, twisting. Gaze comes up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. And exhale, bring it back. Take a deep breath in to prepare, bend the knees. Step or float, come top of the mat. Lengthen, forward folding, exhaling. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, hands through heart center, or take it into your samasthiti. Take it straight into your B's. Inhale, chair pose. Brush the fingertips on the floor. Exhale, lower the bum down towards the floor. Feet up towards the sky. Navasana, 3 deep breaths for 1. Really pull the shoulders forwards. Reach through the hands. 2. 1 more deep breath in 3. Exhale, lower down, low boat. Ardha Navasana, reach the hands back behind you. Draw the navel in. I am shaking. I hope you are as well for 2. One more deep breath in, 3. On the exhale, come back, boat pose. Inhale to roll onto the shoulders. And exhale, come back to chair pose, Utkatasana, without the hands. Forward folding, exhale. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Maybe lean a little bit of weight forwards into the fingertips. Step or float. Chaturanga. Inhale upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, roll that thigh open. Take the knee in, up a little higher on the inhale. On the exhale, knee to nose and hold. Inhale to round to the spine, pull it in towards the chest. And exhale, step the foot forwards, take it into a high lunge, inhale. Exhale, lower that left knee down towards the floor to hover and hold. Try and draw the rib cage in. So you're tucking the tailbone under, drawing the lower rib cage in, but opening and reaching through the hands. One more deep breath in. Exhaling. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Hands can come in towards the heart. They can also reach back behind you. 2 more breaths for 1. Exhaling. 1 more deep breath in for 2. Exhale. Take it into a high lunge, inhale. Plant the hands down on the exhale, chaturanga. Inhale upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, roll that thigh open. Beautiful. Take the knee a little higher, inhale. And exhale, knee to nose, round. Take the knee really into the chest. And exhale, step the foot forwards. High lunge, inhale. Lower that back right knee down to hover. Exhale. Again, try and tuck the tailbone under. Try and draw the lower rib cage in. And you should really feel that accentuated stretch into that hip flexor. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhaling. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, warrior 3. I know it's a fast practice, but try your best to move from place to place mindfully. I am already drenched in sweat. That's probably because I am stuck in a room where I am not allowed to turn the AC on, and it's 30 degrees outside. Wonderful. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths for 1. Breath in 2. One more deep breath in for 3. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, come forwards, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest off the floor. Exhale, lift the feet off the floor, lift the hands off the floor. 3 breaths for 1. Again, remember, whole back body is engaged. Try and lengthen instead of just finding a back bend 2. 1 more deep breath in for 3. Next inhale, reach the hands forwards. 3 breaths, 1. 2, really bring the pinky fingers in towards each other. Lift them higher than the biceps. 3. And exhale, lower down. High plank, inhale. Lower down, chaturanga. Exhale, little pause. Inhale, upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away, bend through the knees. Step or float on top of the mat. Lengthen, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, come back through your chair pose. And again, exhale, forward folding over the legs. Continuous movement. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, plant the hands. Step, float it back. Arrive, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot left, inhale. Exhale, roll that thigh open. On the next inhale, lift the foot a little higher and maybe lean a little bit of weight into the hands. Step the right foot behind the left knee. Wild thing. Take 3 breaths here for 1. Exhaling. Breath in 2. Exhale. 1 more deep breath in 3. And exhale, bring it round. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Take a deep breath in, push into the hands, and step the foot forward. High lunge, inhale. Lower the left knee all the way down towards the floor this time. Exhale. Option to stay here. Again, tucking that lower rib cage in. Option 2, you take that left elbow and bend it back behind you. Option 3, you take whole bind, Gomukhasana arms. Option 4, you start leaning over towards the right side. Just finding a really nice stretch into that left side body. One more deep breath in. Inhale, high lunge. Release the bind, extend that back left leg. Exhale, warrior 3. Really point through that back left leg. 2 more breaths for 1. Stabilize through the right foot. And 2. Forward fold over that right leg. Take it into a standing split. Option to stay here. Option 2, you bring the hands a little bit further forwards and just lean a little bit of weight into the hands. As you can see, my hamstrings are not very flexible, and that does not matter. Just leaning a little bit of weight into the hands. Option to stay here. Option, 3 is you can start taking it upside down, handstand. And from there, we all arrive. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, roll that thigh open. Inhale, take the knee a little higher. And exhale, lean the weight forwards. Step the left foot behind you. Wild thing. 3 deep breaths. Really engaging the backs of the legs. Lift the chest for 2. Breath in 3. And exhale, bring it round. Inhale, left leg lifts up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Take a deep breath in here. Push the foot into the hand. And step that foot between the hands. High lunge, inhale. Lower that back, right knee all the way down towards the floor. Exhaling. Again, option to stay here, or you bend that right elbow this time. Half bind or full bind with the hands. Gomukhasana, holding or leaning over towards the left side this time. Whole right side body, getting a beautiful stretch. Inhale, high lunge, release the bind. Exhale, warrior 3. Finding the stability here. Totally fine to do whatever you want with the hands. If you're looking for a little bit of an extra challenge, reach the hands forwards. 1 more deep breath in. And fold, exhale. Take it into your version of a standing splits. I always need a little bit more space at the top of the mat. And then option to simply hold the standing splits. Option 2, hands come a little bit further forwards, lean weight into the hands. Option 3, maybe you take a little jump with or without a wall behind you. Just finding a little bit of a balance in the hands. Totally fine if you fall out of it. Just come back. Nobody ever holds a perfect handstand all the time. Let's find chaturanga from there. Step or float it back. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. From a downward facing dog, lower both forearms down towards the floor at the same time. Come into your dolphin. Maybe starting to walk the feet in. Maybe coming onto the tips of the toes. Maybe even drawing the head back towards the thighs. Really opening the fronts of the chest. you prefer to take it upside down, always the option. Remember, this is your practice and yours alone. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, come back, downward facing. Take a deep breath in to prepare, bend the knees. Step or float, come top of the mat, lengthening. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, find your chair. And exhale, stand up. Come back into your samasthiti. Inhale, find your chair pose, bend the knees, reach through the hands. Exhale, take a twist towards the right. Take the left elbow onto the outsides of the right knee. Find a little bit of a twist. Bring the hands in towards our heart center. Always the option to stay here, always the option to extend the arms. From there, bring the gaze down towards the floor. Maybe with the arms extended, collect that right foot with the left hand. Lean the weight into that right leg. We're going to come all the way up to stand. Find a really nice deep twist. You want to make sure that that right leg is straight first. Then maybe you start, the left leg is straight first. Maybe then you start straightening out the right leg. If you dare, bring the gaze back behind you. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, bring it back the way you came. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist over towards the left. Right elbow, left thigh. Hands in towards the heart. Again, option to stay here, option to open out the arms. Right arm down, left arm up. One more deep breath in. And from there, maybe you collect the left foot with the right hand. Lean over towards that right leg. Come all the way up to stand. Maybe from there, you start extending the right leg. And maybe from there, you start kicking that left foot into the right hand. And twist. One more deep breath in. And slowly bring it back the way you came. Always moving from place to place slowly. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, interlace the hands above your head. Come down halfway. Sit the bum nice and low. Reach the fingertips forwards. Bring that torso onto the tops of the thighs. Navel comes in. One more deep breath in. And exhale, forward folding over the legs. Inhale to lengthen. Option to stay here. Option to take a rest in a malasana squat. Or maybe on that exhale, you bring those knees onto the backs of the triceps. Take it into your inversion, bakasana crow. You want to really make sure you're pushing into the fingertips for this one. Push into the hands, straighten out those arms. One more deep breath in. And let's float it back from there. We all meet chaturanga. Inhale upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, roll that thigh open. Inhale, lift the knee a little higher and lean the weight forwards. This time we're going to take it into a hovering wild thing. So maybe instead of actually placing that right foot behind you, you take it slow and you hover the right foot off the floor. Really squeeze that right heel in towards the left bum cheek. Take one more deep breath in and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Hover. And inhale to reach that knee in towards the chest. And exhale, step the foot forwards between the hands. Warrior one. Finally arrive for one. Breath in two. One more deep breath in three. Exhale, open out wide. Deep stance into the legs. Warrior two. Breath in. One more. For Trikonasana, straighten out that right leg. Maybe close down the stance. Reach the right fingertips forward. And then bring the right hand down onto the insides. That right shin. Maybe even collect the toes. The toes just act as a way of you pulling up. So you're not actually collapsing down. You're pulling up, reaching the left hand up towards the sky. Take one more deep breath in. And then slowly from there, bring the hands a little bit further forwards. Coming into your Ardha Chandrasana. Lean the weight into that right leg and bring that left arm up towards the sky. From your Ardha, maybe you bend into that right knee. Take that right heel behind you. Maybe you reach round with the left hand and collect the foot into the hand into the foot to find your Chapasana bind. One more deep breath in. And an exhale, slowly step it back. Arriving, warrior two. And then slowly from there, right forearm down, left arm up and over. Taking into your side angle, you can always take a bind from here, right forearm under, left arm over. One more deep breath in. And then slowly from there, release both hands down to frame up that right foot. Lower the left knee down towards the floor. Take it into your Kapyasana, reaching the hands up and over. You want the biceps to be kind of brushing back between or kind of behind the ears here. You're finding a nice kind of stretch into that left hip flexor. And then maybe from there, you start picking up that left heel and actively pulling the heel in towards the left bum cheek. 2 more breaths here for 1. And 2, bring both hands down towards the floor. Step that left leg, kind of extend that left leg and step it in. Take it into your pyramid pose, folding forwards over the right thigh. Inhale, option, lengthen here halfway. Exhale, interlace the hands behind your head, back. Inhale, puff the chest open. And exhale, forward fold. Try and take the hands up and over. The whole time you're pulling that right hip back towards the back of the mat. And it's not about rounding through the spine here, but trying your best to take it long. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale, lower both hands down towards the floor. We're taking it straight into a 3-legged dog. Extend that right leg up towards the sky. And exhale, lower both forearms down towards the mat. Dolphin. You can stay your 3-legged dolphin. Option, you start taking that foot or right leg a little higher. Option 2, start to lean a little bit of weight into the arms. Maybe starting to take the legs together. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Find your straight line. If you prefer to rest, you can hold your child's pose or your seated virasana, seated onto the shins. When you're ready, let's all meet in a child's pose. Close down the eyes. Allow yourself to come back to your breath. In such a fast and dynamic practice, it is really important to remember to just take those small little moments to slow down. Remember that it's not about the pose. When you're ready, come back into your downward facing dog. Take a little vinyasa to reset. Inhale, come forwards, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Take it all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, roll that thigh open. Beautiful. Take that foot a little higher. Maybe slowly bringing it behind you to hover. Take that leg or that left heel in towards the left bum cheek. Open through the chest, hovering wild thing. 2 more breaths for 1. Breath in 2. And exhale, bring it all the way around. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, knee in towards the chest, round the spine. And exhale, step the foot forwards between the hands. Take it into a warrior 1, inhale. And arriving on the exhale. 3 breaths for 1. Exhale. Breath in 2. Exhaling. One more deep breath in 3. Exhale, open out wide. Warrior 2. Gaze comes towards those left fingertips. Deep stance into that front left leg. One more deep breath in. And exhale, deep breath out. Inhale, straighten out that left leg for Trikonasana. Maybe shorten down the stance. Reach the left hand forwards. And then bring the left hand down towards the floor. Maybe onto the inside of the shin, right hand up towards the sky. Maybe you even take hold of the left toes. This is a means this pull that kind of pulls you up towards the ceiling. And trying your best to find length into that left side body by shortening through the right. One more deep breath in. And the exhale, bring the gaze down towards the floor. Lean into that front left hand. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Maybe extending the right hand up towards the sky. Maybe even starting to bend that right heel. So try your best to take hold of the foot behind you so you're not drawing the knee in towards the chest. And then kick the foot into the hand into the foot for Chapasana. Breathing here. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly let it go. Take a wide stance towards the back of the mat, open out wide. And take it straight into a side angle. Left forearm down, right hand up and over. If you took a bind on the first side, you always want to try your best to replicate the same on both sides. One more deep breath in. Exhaling. And slowly from there, let go, both hands, frame up that left leg, lower the right knee, take the hands up towards the sky for Kapyasana. Deep bend into that left leg and maybe even start to bend that right kind of heel in towards the right bum cheek. Reach the biceps back behind you. Making sure you're never collapsing down into the lower spine. And then slowly from there, release both hands down towards the floor. Step it back. Oh, sorry. Release both hands down towards the floor. Take it into your pyramid pose. Straighten that back right leg. And step the foot. Medium stance towards the back of the mat. Holding here or inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, hands interlace behind your back. Pop the chest open, inhale. And exhale, forward fold over that left thigh. 2 more breaths for 1. Breath in 2. Exhale. Bring both hands down towards the floor on the inhale. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Extend that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, lower both forearms down towards the floor. Step the right foot in. Maybe you take it straight into your Pincha Mayurasana. Maybe straightening out the legs. Maybe this time you even bring the gaze back. Or I recently like to bring my gaze up towards my toes, if the balance allows. Taking your time there, you've got about 3 more breaths. When you're ready, meet back in a downward facing dog. Taking a little vinyasa to reset. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. From there, come all the way forwards, high plank. Lower all the way down towards the floor. You're going to interlace the hands behind your back. And on the inhale, lift the chest off the floor. Exhale, lift the toes off the floor. Whole back body's engaged for 1. Breath in 2. 1 more deep breath in 3. Exhale, lower down. Bring the head down towards the floor. Maybe slightly sway the hips from side to side. And then slowly from there, hands underneath the shoulders, high plank inhale, chaturanga exhale, upward facing inhale, and downward facing exhale. Bring the knees behind the hands at the top of the mat. Sit the heels onto outsides of the hips. If you have any pain into the knees, make sure you sit on a blanket or on a block. And then from there, I'm going to lean back into the forearms. Push the knees down towards the floor. If you want to come all the way down onto your back, you can. Maybe even interlacing the hands behind your back. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly bring it back. Always the option to take a regular vinyasa. Option 2, hands come down kind of in front of the knees. Head comes down towards the floor. Straighten out the legs. Lift yourself up. Pike yourself into a tripod headstand. Maybe from there, knees onto the backs of the arms. Take it into your bakhasana, crow pose. And then from there, step or float it back. Chaturanga, inhale upwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. High plank inhale. And lower all the way down towards the floor, exhaling. Bend through the knees, take hold of the ankles. Taking into your dhanurasa. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the knees. 3 breaths here. Whole back body is engaged for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, lower down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Straight away. High plank inhale. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step or float the knees behind the wrists. Come onto the shins for camel. We're going to take a few variations of our camel position. Starting off, bringing the hands onto the lower back. Puff the chest open. Squeeze the elbows back towards each other. And as you lift the chest, push the hips forwards, leaning back. For the whole time, you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades down and in towards each other. If you prefer to take hold of the heels, you can. If keeping the hips over the knees is too deep, you can always just bring the hips a little bit further back. Who cares about how, far forwards those hips are? And then slowly from there, release. Down onto the shins, rest the right hand onto the left, close down the eyes. Energetically feel the effects of this pose or this practice. What has slowly started to shift? Ask yourself that. For our second back bending variation, going to come all the way forward. This time we're going to avoid any back bends into the lower spine. Try and push the hips forwards, maybe bringing the hands in across down the chest. I personally prefer to bring my arms extended out. So we're going to try our best to lean back and just work that strength into the fronts of the legs by just leaning back into the legs and then bringing it back. The whole time you're keeping a nice long straight spine, leaning back and bringing it back again. One more time. This time we're going to hold for 5, hold 4. I think you can go a little deeper there. 3, 2, 1, and then slowly lower it all the way down. Close down the eyes, then the rest of the hands, maybe right over left. And we have one last and final camel pose to take. If you like to start dropping it back into a full wheel pose or Vidyanarasana, you can also do that. You can also take hold of the heels. So if you're taking hold of the heels while seated, maybe you start to engage the legs and push the chest forwards, coming into your camel pose. 3 more breaths for 1. Breath in 2. If you've dropped it back, you can wait for us a moment for 3. And then slowly bringing it back, folding forward, child's pose. Deep breath in. And then slowly bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Come back through your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, step or float. Come all the way down onto your back. Lower all the way down onto your spine. We have 2 more back bends left. If you prefer to start taking it a little bit restoratively, you can always bring a brick underneath the sacrum. Option 2, you can take it into your Setu Dandasana, your bridge pose, maybe interlacing the hands behind your back. You should feel fairly warm into your back bends. You can also bring the hands behind the shoulders, taking it all the way up, full wheel. Breathing here, pushing the weight into the hands. Slowly lower down. Bring the hands in Anjali Mudra in prayer, third eye. And you have one last and final back bend. Option to take it into your full wheel again, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Option to also take it inverted if you prefer to take it upside down. Hands behind the shoulders. Full wheel. And engaging the backs of the legs. Maybe this time you take it a little bit further. Always protecting the lower back by keeping the shoulders engaged. So you're pulling the shoulder blades in towards each other, engaging that booty, pushing the hips up towards the sky. And then slowly lower down from there. Hands come Anjali Mudra, third eye. And then take a spinal twist from there. Just dropping the legs over towards the left side. Gaze comes over towards the right. And slowly bring the knees in towards the chest. Massage the lower back. And drop the legs over towards the opposite side. And then back towards center. Hug the knees in towards the chest and start rocking up and down the lengths of your spine. Arriving in a seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana. You can also take it a little bit more passive here if you prefer, maybe taking hold just of the backs of the thighs, backs of the calves. It's reversing all of that back bending work. I know it's quite a short class, so if you prefer to pause this video now and take it into a full finishing sequence, you can. Maybe starting to include pigeons, final headstands, inversions, whatever you feel like you still need for your practice. You're ready to close it off with me. Come into a seated position, Sukhasana. Interlace opposite elbows behind you and fold forwards, closing down the eyes. Just sealing in the effects of the practice, letting go of the physical postures. It's always remembering that when we practice our physical aspect or the physical asana of yoga, it is simply a means to get us to this point, to the seat. The original asana was only a seat where we can observe. From there, keeping the eyes closed, come up, find the seated position, or take it all the way down into your final shavasana. Once you're ready to come out of the practice, start reawakening your body slowly. Wiggle out the fingers and toes. Draw the attention back. If you'd like to stay down for longer, please stay down for longer. Coming with me any way you'd like. You can go back to a seated position at the top of the mat. Straight away, bringing the hands in towards heart center in prayer. Dropping the head, the hands, and towards the third eye, giving yourself a moment to thank yourself for practicing. It's always remembering that the true magic of this practice happens when we step off the mat. It never really matters what happens on them. Bowing the head all the way down towards the hands or the floor. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.